Yeah, Benzo's a damn Euro. Not really.
I'm international, so.
He's international. I don't mean to misclassify you.
President's Cup, not Ryder Cup.
My favorite thing to do to Benzo is get people to go up and ask him if he's from England.
Oh, you both of you have done it a couple of times.
That's so much.
What happened last time? Someone did it to me, and I just
walked away.
I just guided it straight to the exit.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
There's the door. See ya.
Oh my gosh. There is the exit. No, I'm not from England.
All right, Benzo, you got it. Take it away, kid.
Welcome back to the DawgLeg Show, episode 12, and we spoke about the Masters, Safe Straka, Calusa Pines, and what else?
Just a lot of mindset with big crowds and
Talked about overcoming adversity.
Talked about some of Benny's success this spring, some further success from what we talked about last time. Benzo.
Trip to Augusta. We met a nice friend.
Met a nice, lovely lady. She's awesome. Some of you may know her, some of you may not know her. Awesome personality.
Yeah. Tune in.
Make sure you guys keep tuning in, keep watching. Thank you.
Yeah, I would get my coffee, yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
can
always
sip.
getting good. No, I was literally like standing behind a tee box watching Ludwig like stripe a drive, like so far. And this random girl just,
We're talking about Grace there, Bob.
and this random like
Talking about Grace.
girl starts talking to me, and I was like, cool, blah blah blah, talk about golf, talk about like handicap, all that stuff. And then like as the time goes on, like so one person comes up to her and he's like, oh my goodness, is that you, Grace? And I was like, what's going on? Then like I was like, oh, it's probably a friend. And then like in the next 5 minutes, like 15 more people came up to her, and I was like, I was trying to milk like not knowing who she is, because like this point I knew who she was, because everyone is saying she's famous. And then like I come up to her and I'm like, so are you famous or something? Because everyone's been kissing her ass all the time. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. And then she's like, yeah, I've got a couple followers. And I was like, a couple? How many is that? And she's like, 3. And I was like, 3 what? Like million. And the next hour, I'm literally, actually the next 4 hours, I'm like a celebrity, bro. Like people coming to me, like dabbing me up, and it was like crazy experience.
I thought you were in the boyfriend.
Oh.
That is just unbelievable to me that you
What
did
did
not
you
know who
say
she
about
was.
someone came up to her and said, nice swing, and you said, it's not that good, and everyone laughed?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen her swing since then?
Yeah.
Of course. That's too good. That's too good.
So you watched Ludwig. Who else did you watch?
I watched basically all the guys in contention pretty much.
Yeah.
Colin. Watching DeChambeau was pretty cool, and Rory.
Was it hard to kind of watch? Like,
Yeah, I just sat at a certain like tee box or green and watching people come in instead of like trying to follow the whole round.
yeah.
Because that gets tough, especially there.
So you sat, you didn't try to walk. Walking gets tough. Walking
it's
does get
brutal.
hard because
It's hot
of all the
too,
hills
isn't
too.
it?
Like there's certain spots that where the ropes go that you just like can't see.
And watching them up close is pretty cool, so
Yeah.
I preferred that, honestly.
Yeah, without a doubt. Would you say you watch like more tee shots or approach shots, or do you just
Tee
kind of
shots.
mix it in?
Yeah, just tee shots.
Bombs.
Bombs. Man, I hadn't seen Bryson DeChambeau hit a golf ball in so long. Like,
He's dialed it back a little.
huh?
He's dialed it back a little.
Dude, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. The dude's swing kind of freaks me out. Like, I forgot what it looked like.
Yeah, he's that little trigger at the beginning.
Just hits like, I mean, it's the shot tracer goes so high that it leaves the
screen.
television screen.
Yeah.
Like that's did you watch him a bunch, or did you just kind of?
Yeah, I was watching him on, I think it was the 7th, and everyone was hitting like drivers, and he had an
Forehand, didn't he?
iron there.
I
Yeah.
think he said four. They said forehand.
On 7?
Yeah, he hit an iron. And I was like, whoa. And it came out like a 3-wood.
Their golf shots sound a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's also weird too. The thing that sketches me out, like about, I don't really know how they had the tee boxes set up, but on some of those, I feel like they have the ropes going so close up to like where the ball takes off.
Let's hear it whizzing.
Yeah, you can hear it whiz past.
Yeah.
Like I remember going to the tour championship one year and following around Dustin Johnson, and he hits it low. So like I would go and stand like 15 yards in front to the right of him, and like it was freakish. I'd be up against the rope and it would just like right past. It's so loud. It sounds like a jet.
Yeah, it's crazy. Also going to the Masters and seeing how like you would think everyone is silent. Like there's millions of people there like moving around all the time. Like Beck also said this with the first row, because he went to the practice round. The first row, it's like no one's moving, and then like a yard behind them, there's like
A lot of movement.
yeah, crazy
Trying
amounts.
to get a view.
You constantly have some type of noise that you have to play with, you know.
The patrons.
Yeah,
Patrons.
the fans.
Did you get a sandwich or anything?
Got the club.
You got the club.
sandwich.
You
Club
didn't get
sandwich.
a pimento cheese.
Overrated.
I'm sorry for whoever is watching this and maybe bought one of these, but I think the worst piece of merch that I've personally seen was that pink hat that said pimento
I didn't see
on the
it.
top of it. Oh my gosh. It's like, what are you doing, man? You going to the Masters and you're buying a hat that says pimento on it?
Yeah.
They don't even
Nice.
sell, like, I don't get that personally. But, you know, did you buy anything?
No, the lines were out the roof, like they were absurd. so-
By Sunday, anyways, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
Because you went Saturday and Sunday, though, didn't you?
yeah.
Lucky bastard.
You want to talk about our picks? How you lost by one?
Yeah, that's brutal. So we added up our scores. I think we went over this in last week's episode. But we added up, basically how we were doing our Masters pool was we were going to add up our three guys' total score. And
I was out of it.
you were out of it.
I had Brooks,
Yeah,
Victor, and Minwoo.
Did they?
Minwoo made the cut. Victor was the one that missed the cut.
Yeah, and then Brooks just didn't play
just
too,
played-
too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it all
Awesome.
shot, if we remember correctly, so you had Brooks, Minwoo, and
And,
Hovland.
yeah.
And
that's it.
I had Lucas Glover, Xander Schauffele, and who was my third one? John Rahm. And then
Which he let you down.
George had the mothership,
Scheffler,
Scotty Scheffler,
Jordan Spieth,
Jordan
MC.
Spieth, and
Can't wait.
Cantlay. So
Where did
his
Cantlay finish?
He was 4 over.
four
for the
over.
week.
Him and Glover tied, which I thought was hilarious. I literally had no clue how good Lucas Glover was playing, and I checked in on my app on Sunday, and he was like -1 for the tournament.
Yeah.
With like, I mean, he still had 15 holes to go, but I was like,
Crept it around.
yeah, I texted Garth, and I was like, look at what's going on right
And
now.
then you thought you won, and then we added it up. and-
Yeah.
So we take the highest score.
Total, yeah, the grand total was George shot 11 over, and I shot 12 over.
And do we want to do the math on mine?
Not even
What's Muscat?
You take the highest score on.
Saturday and Sunday.
So Tiger shot 82. So he had to, for Jordan Spieth, he had to count an 82, and then Finau shot 80. He has to count an 80.
That's
And I had to do that too because I had Victor.
Victor looks like he's struggling
How
right
did
now.
he miss the cut, bro?
Because he went up and hit a 6-inch putt. I mean, that's not why he missed the cut, but
But I mean, he was inside the number when he did that. When
Was
he went
he?
ahead and did that, yeah, he was only like 4 or 5 over when he missed like that 3-footer.
He was 7 over through 7 the third round, no? Or the second round?
yeah, he was struggling early.
struggled. Friday was so windy. I went out
That
to
might
Friday
have been one of
must-
the most difficult course
The
conditions.
fact that no
I've
one
ever
shot
had.
like 85, like 82 was the highest.
Well, Holman 47?
Yeah, that was in the morning too.
What was the highest
And
on
they
fr-
shot even in the afternoon. He shot 47 to wrap up his first round, and then he went back and shot even, which is pretty impressive.
No way.
Yeah, he went 79, 72.
Oh, that's so brute.
Yeah.
So he still almost made the cut. I don't know. It was weird because like he obviously had the top half of the leaderboard that was playing. Well, not I wasn't even top half. It was really just 10 guys that were playing good golf.
I was 31 over.
31.
Yeah.
Solid performance.
Thank you. 9 over, 4 over, and then I took 18 over for the weekend.
The only thing that I had was that nobody of mine missed the cut.
Yeah,
That was the only
but
reason it
you
was
still
close.
lost because Scotty just kind of inched away.
Oh my gosh. That was just inevitable though.
You didn't have anyone in red either, right? Did you? Or Xander was in red. Close to it.
Yeah, Xander shot -1 for the tournament. So,
but when you have 11 under, that helps a lot.
John Rahm really screwed me, to be honest with you. I didn't expect to see that coming.
And then Doug won our team pool.
Yeah, Doug blitzed us.
Yeah.
Doug had Ludwig Aberg and Scotty Scheffler, which that pool was added up completely differently.
Yeah, that was
just by how much money that they made,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty interesting.
It is interesting, yeah.
But I've never seen it done like that. But yeah, he balled out. Really, he only had Scotty and Ludwig, though.
I think he had
Cam
Victor.
Smith.
He had Victor missing the cut, and then you had like 4 players too. Doug had like 5.
Yeah, I went with Scotty, Hovland, missed the cut. And I went with Brooks. And was it wrong?
Could have been. It's funny how you don't hear from Brooks all week because he's not. I don't know. He just
Him
like,
and
he's
John Rahm surprised me not.
not playing well.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they shoot a couple over, like no one's talking about them, obviously, because they're not in contention. But it's just funny. Like last year, they were the face of the.
It's weird. It's whack to me watching John Rahm play as compared to like last year at this time. Like last year at this time, he looked like Scotty does now.
Yeah.
He just looked unbeatable. And really, they played kind of the same exact back nine to win the golf tournament. I mean, I don't know how many did John even win by last year? Like 4 or 5, something like that. It was comfortable.
Yeah, he pulled away from Brooks.
Yeah, it was comfortable. It was very, very comfortable.
It was 3 or 4 maybe.
But like he just picked apart the back nine of that golf course. Scotty did the exact same this year. But like I haven't seen John hit some of the shots that he's hit. You know, honestly, I just wasn't. You get so used to watching somebody do the exact same thing over and over again that, you know, it's weird to see them hit bad shots, honestly. But that's another thing too, because I couldn't believe that. What do we have? Three guys hit in the water on 11?
Yeah, that was wild.
Ludwig.
I mean, you guys know I was there, but I can't see anything.
Yeah. You probably heard it.
I don't know if anyone else did, but 2 in the final 2 groups.
And on 12, how many hit it?
Well, no one hit in the wad, but.
But Homa got screwed.
Yeah. Homa hit the back edge and it skipped into the bushes.
Yeah,
I feel quite confident that'll be changed. I bet you they won't have that dip. Yeah, I bet you it'll just be like something like that.
Because he didn't even hit that bad of a shot.
That sucked. He was looking at that too, like that's right where he wanted to hit it.
Yeah, even a foot right, it comes down to the flat of the bunker.
I know. I mean, that's when you kind of knew the tournament was over. Yeah,
Scotty isn't going to make a mistake.
He just hits the right golf shots at the right time. He just
kept making birdies, like 16. Yeah, 15.
He made like 3 in the last 6, no?
Yeah, he made.
And he almost made on 17.
He had like 6 of his last 10 or something when he was on after 16.
Ludwig looked like
he just turned it on like hole
8.
Yeah, 8. He birdied 8, 9, 10, 13. Did he birdie 15?
I don't know. I just know he shot 3 under on the back and it looked pretty easy. Yeah. He had a bogey and shot 3 under on the back.
Yeah, he bogeyed 11.
There was a second where Ludwig looked like he might come back.
Not really though. Like even if he did make a birdie, it was like Scotty.
I mean, if Scotty had just made pars coming in, then it could have gotten close. But I think we all kind of. Scotty literally hit the exact same shot this year on 14 that he did on 14.
Oh yeah, he birdied 14
in 2022.
Yeah, about 14.
Like he hit it like this when he won last time too on that hole, same exact pin. Just like that's just a little section there too.
Yeah, you miss any right of that pin, it's not.
Then it goes all the way down. You've got like a 40-footer.
Slow as.
And if you miss it left of that knob above it,
you can't really stop it. But if you get it in there, it's going.
Yeah, but if you're just striping it, then it's like auto.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I didn't really watch Tiger grow up, but I haven't seen. We saw Rory and DJ kind of have their times, but this is something I haven't.
It's nice to see a dominant, winner.
It's been a very long time since we've had a dominant winner.
Even like when Rory and, I mean, I guess I didn't really watch when Rory was like winning his majors, but.
Yeah, but that still wasn't as week in, week out as this is.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I mean, this is 30 days of Scotty Scheffler at the top of every single leaderboard you look at. pretty much. He's played
And he
the
didn't
last 4
play
tournaments.
that. I mean, he played well enough, but like, he made some like,
Yeah.
like
He just-
he could have ran away with it by
Guy
8
just
or
doesn't
9
make.
probably.
He's just not going to make bogeys.
Yeah.
And if
when
he does, like,
he
he's
makes
going to follow it up
Yeah,
with a birdie.
47% bounce back rate. They said.
That is stupid.
After
For
bogey.
people that don't know how stupid that is, like 47% of the time after you're making a bogey,
He makes birdie.
you
or
make
better.
a birdie. Like that's unheard. That's stupid, unheard of.
And then you add that to the fact that it's Augusta National, it's a major, and it's absurd whether the first 2 rounds.
He's been doing that all year. He leads the
hasn't
tour
shot-
and bounce back.
Is
He
that
hasn't
all
shot-
year?
Yeah,
He
that's
hasn't shot over-
47% on the
Okay,
year.
just
Yeah,
prove
just
your
last
point
week.
even further.
He hasn't shot over par in 2024 in a tournament.
And the ones he didn't shoot in the 60s, he 4-putted on the last hole, no?
He 4-putted to shoot even, and then he shot even in the hardest conditions at Augusta National.
Damn, he still didn't shoot over par this week, did he?
No, he hasn't shot it in 2024.
I was just out there hitting balls in the range on Friday, and I was getting blown over. I didn't even want to put
We
alignment
played.
sticks down because it would have been useless. Like, I mean, this stuff's just, I mean, it was howling.
We
Y'all
played on Friday at Athens, and we couldn't get the ball to stop on 18 green. I mean, granted, they're a little more protected because they have the trees, but once that ball gets above the air,
No, that's stupid. And the fact, and coupled with the fact that around that place too, the wind just like swirls. Like
yeah, you never know.
that's absolutely nuts. But hey, solid week for Scotty. Even more solid for Ben Van Wyk.
Yeah, get in there, kid.
Go ahead, one time.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you get the digits?
Yeah.
Yes, Grace, if you're watching this,
We'd love to have
This
you on
is
the pod.
put
Let's
it on
get
your
him caught.
Instagram story, Grace, please.
That would actually be massive.
Yeah, tag her.
She would too. She loves you.
She's on the Ben Van
She's
Wyk
your
train.
weekend boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, who could resist? Who could resist this South African temptation?
On to the next topic.
All right, let's talk more about you.
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah, we probably should talk about you a little bit because you've been balling out. Little second place at the God. I keep on calling it the Godwin because
Well, third place at Sanford.
It's a good one.
Yeah, third
that
and then
was a good one.
second.
yeah, I keep on calling it the Godwin because Hacker's been calling it the Godwin, and there's 2 O's. we had it on our schedule the entire year as the Godwin, and they finally had to reach out to us and be like, it's the good one.
That's funny.
Yeah, a little second place there, and what was it? Second place again at Calusa.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 2nd at Calusa, yeah.
3rd and 2nd. I mean, you were in it the whole entire time. First of all, we had no idea what you were doing at Calusa. We thought you were shooting like 6 over the final round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because
your
had you
scores-
off.
Your
Yeah,
scores were
scoring wrong.
entirely wrong. So
I checked it after like 13, and it said you made double on 18, and we're like 3 over, and I was like, no.
No,
Well,
And then,
Doesn't
I,
make
and then I
it
saw you in
double.
the fairway, and you were in like a decent mood, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah,
We had-
then I get to the 9th, which is my 18th hole. Because obviously that side of the draw, we're playing a lot slower for some reason. And I get up to the last hole and like the ceremony's like going on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
they're on the mic. And Ben
No
says one
chance.
shot back.
How long was your
putt?
He had a chip.
I must agree, but
I mean,
anyways, like they
It's
didn't know
not a
that.
birdie hole.
man, how crazy would that have been?
Bro, it was funny because they have this tradition where they like
They fire the
fire
cannons.
they actually fire the cannon. And like I'm standing walking up the bridge and Caleb sees the cannons about
Yeah,
to go off.
he's
And,
like, plug your ears, everyone. I'm like, watch, Ben's just gonna jump.
and everyone's just watching.
He's on the bridge and he's like taking cover as the cannon fires. He's
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
I got to chip in to tie, force a playoff, but
Did
You
anybody
knew that,
know?
right?
Did anybody know?
no one knew.
Nobody told anybody up on
I
the
mean,
hill.
I feel like
that
they would have waited longer if the golf stat was right, but the golf stat was wrong. So like, it wasn't really their fault. Like he would have been technically like 3 or 4 back going into.
I
the
mean,
last one.
Buck was even par the first day with a legendary hole-in-one on the
Oh my God.
first par 5 out
They had
there.
him on the first par 5, and then they had him for an ace on a par 4 like 2 holes later.
They had him ace on a par 5.
Yeah, we were
on
like
a 4.
5 under through like 6 holes, and I was like, oh, we're balling.
Was
I
it?
checked and it had a yellow in there and it had a 1. And I was like, oh, you made a 1 on 7? I was like, sick. And then I had it on number 6, the par 5. I was like, what? the woman messed it up bad. So you never really can trust that. Cause
Was it the members that were doing it?
volunteers. It was volunteers from around the area.
The golf stat, I will say, the golf stat live scoring when I've done it is a little bit fidgety, but having somebody down for 1 on par 5
that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
But also when we won in the Godwin,
good one.
They like we kind of celebrated, but I didn't want to like celebrate fully because like you still gotta like sign the cards and like they do live scoring too, so that would suck. Thinking you won, or not even signing the wrong card, but thinking you won and like you didn't. Like even in Puerto Rico, like we were already like before we signed cards because it was a shotgun start.
Yeah, it gets dicey because everyone's on different holes.
Yeah, and you just
scorecards, you can't trust the golf set either.
But yeah, the back 9 was a little sketch at a good one. Obviously, you probably thought you should have won that thing because you were playing well, but it's obviously still a good finish, and that guy played real well in the last 4 holes to get it to 4 under. But then turn around the next week and you come out with a bogey-free 3 under at arguably one of the hardest courses definitely the hardest course we play out throughout the year. I think.
Yeah, back to what you said, like practice round, like that course owns us. Literally. That place is
we were just trying to get the demons out in the practice round so we could go out and perform. Because like last year we had, the practice round, you could actually stop the ball. They had some like sand on the greens and they were trying to dry out the greens by putting sand on them. So like we knew it was coming, but the practice round on the first day, you could actually like get your ball to stop where you wanted to with like 7 iron and less. Last year it was like downwind. If you had a wedge, like you it was hard to stop it. You had to launch that ball.
We spoke about this, Caleb, last week. Think about this. On the final round, we laid up, both me and him, twice with a putt.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a 15-footer putt and it's downwind,
and 4 feet beyond the hole.
If you get a gust at all, or just hit it 1 foot too far, like, whoops, off the green, and you make it like you'll make it triple.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
What was the best part of your game? Were you driving well or chipping
you have
well?
to hit greens, so I hit lots of greens, which helped a lot, and then
the fairways are pretty big, so once you're in the fairway, it's about hitting
fairways
greens.
are not that hard to hit, but it's the wind and then just hitting the greens.
The second day was by far the hardest, I think.
Yeah.
But
those South Florida courses can get so dicey, and they can change them overnight too.
And they did.
If it's a place with money.
Because the first round I was playing, I don't want to say so easy because it's not, but easiest I've seen it. I've only played there 2 years, but it was like concrete last year, and this year you could actually like, not have your putter slide on the green, and you could.
Yeah, I remember him talking about that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got so pissed. You were like, you can't even set your putter on the green.
You can't. You have
you're
to
trying to pick up the ball, like stabilize the putter, and you just like face plant on it.
That's right. It's like you can eat it right there on the green.
That's like the most Ned feeling ever.
Yeah.
Then you gotta catch yourself. Yeah, it's brute. We already don't look very athletic out there to begin with, so stuff like that doesn't really help.
So, I played all right considering like this stuff, like just the course conditions and stuff like that. And I didn't make a double all week, but I want to hear your perspective about kind of like going at pins, because obviously you shot 5 under, you had to make a lot of birdies because you're going to make bogeys.
Yeah.
But like, when do you start to attack pins unless you know it's really screwed, like left or right of it? Like, for example, like on 15, the final day.
Yeah.
That pin's back left. I had 155, and I was like, screw this. I'm going at this thing. Pulled it like 5 feet, landed 5 feet pin high, and I'm down in bogey land. Like, are you still aiming a little right of that? Obviously, you're in a different position than me. Like, you're near the lead, and I'm firing. But
reflecting back, honestly, for me, there are a lot of poor holes out there. So it sounds kind of contradicting saying this, but the poor holes I made sure to hit the green.
Yeah.
And 2-putt, and even if I 3-putted, I was like,
okay.
it's like fine. I don't care. I did what I had to do. I just made a bogey.
Yeah.
Executed bad. But looking back, I played the par 5s well. The par 5 pins weren't that hard.
Yeah.
And they were reachable. So I made most of my birdies, and accidentally here and there I would maybe pull the iron shot or push it and just make a long putt.
Yeah, but you weren't like trying to just make a crap ton of birdies.
Yeah, not
You're just letting them come with the birdies.
Those are the types of courses where birdies just get in the way.
They get in the way because they had two drivable par 4s.
Yeah.
3. 2. 14.
14 and 8.
8, yeah. 8's really drivable. 14's like if you're into the wind, you have no chance. But if it's downwind, you can get it up there.
Yeah. Those types of places are really difficult. I know you don't do this much, so that's why you're really good on golf courses like that. When you net out on holes that you're not supposed to net out on, it makes it way harder.
So hard.
Like, because you already have to be so patient.
Yeah.
When you're playing a golf course, it's that punishing. And you're having to be patient the entire day. And a shot that doesn't receive your full attention, that's maybe one of the easier shots of the day, gets away from you.
Yeah.
It's so punishing. It's like
it happened
double.
to me on the second hole of the tournament. Like I had a chip. I was just sitting there 30 yards short on 2. Hit a little thin. Goes up there. I had a harder chip. I mean, I make bogey.
Like short right.
Yeah, I make bogey when I'm, thinking par at worst. Probably have a good look for birdie, and then next hole I hit it a little right, and I'm down there further. Like on the par 3, I'm down there, and I'm like, here we go again. Luckily, I got that up and down. Like
yeah, I mean, I was there, and I hit 4 shots from there.
Yeah, exactly. The average is 3.
Yeah, making a par from where you did is like absurd.
Yeah,
I made a 5, and I was lucky to make a 5.
That set me up for the round. Like if I made bogey or double there, it's like, all right, I hate this place again.
And it's just big drop.
Love hate.
It's big
and as soon as you're down in there, to be disciplined enough to say, all right, bogey, that's how you score well. No, I'm serious.
And this is what happened. Like that hole, I had sandwich.
Yeah,
so it's a short par 3. This is you thinking
124 downwind. I played it about 110.
I remember y'all talking about this.
Yeah, like you're supposed to think oh, birdie.
Yeah,
I can maybe even hold this thing. Then I hit it 5 yards right of the pin.
Not even.
Not
you
even.
land it 4, and then it rolls 6, and then you're gone.
And not to mention, if you go 1 yard left of the hole, you're down on the other side. So I hit it.
How thin is the green?
Where that pin is, it's from me to you. That's how thin it is for the front pin.
Yeah.
We're not even joking.
Yeah.
And
then obviously you're supposed to go long. If
drop off, you can't see the putting surface.
And if you putt, you've got no chance because the ground is bouncy. So it just bounces when you putt.
Yeah,
so
you got to strike the putt real well or bump like a...
Yeah, so I hit it on the right there. Wanted to go straight at the pin with my first chip. I was stupid. I should have taken my medicine. Anyways, I
you say
leave
that
it
after.
short, comes back, and I'm like, I think I should putt this.
That's the most oh crap moment ever.
That and hitting the lip on a bunker shot.
When you're hitting
two of those feelings where they come back to your feet.
Any golf shot where you hit it and you're hitting again
from the same spot.
The exact same spot is oh no.
It's the worst.
Especially if it's a super hard shot.
Yeah.
That's what constantly happens on number 3 at Great Waters. Whenever you miss left to that front pin and that little that drain.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but it's even
way further down.
A little further down, and it's just there's no fringe to catch the ball. And the greens and the edges of the greens slope off, so there's no fringe to catch it, first of all. And then the edges of the greens go down.
Yeah.
So the greens look like they have, enough landing room, and then next thing you know, you put your club in your bag and you look up and your ball's gone. You're like, oh, okay.
That's why I'm very interested to see how Pinehurst plays this year in the US Open.
Too. I've never played out there, but...
Well, I mean, those surfaces are pretty... They're bigger.
They're bigger, but you can also...
But when you miss the fairway, it's a headache.
Yeah.
I've never played number 2.
Yeah,
so I don't really know.
We've had an event there when I was at Augusta.
Yeah, I never played there.
We played in soft conditions, though. And the winning score was still maybe 1 over even.
Yeah.
Good conditions, soft conditions.
Yeah, the north-south every year gets pretty dicey.
Yeah.
That course is so fun to watch Matt play on.
Are they going to play that this year?
Huh?
North-south, even though they have the...
I don't know.
Probably not, right? I think it's around the same time.
I don't know what the dates look like for that. Maybe they'll just move it, but I don't know. I think it's fun to watch major championships on courses like that because it's familiar, and also you never get to see U.S. Opens played on Bermuda golf courses.
Not really.
I wish they would go. I wish they would take a U.S. Open to South Florida. Because I want to see what that
should.
Like if like
That'd be pretty cool.
I want to see a U.S. Open played at Jupiter Hills. I played that course.
Closer.
Yeah, like
I don't think it's long enough.
It doesn't need to be.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, that's the thing though, is that those guys find a way to make those courses look. I think there's some, like on a certain week, there's a couple guys who'll make a way to they'll find a way to make Calusa look easier than it really is. Mm-hmm. Like I played this course my senior year of high school called Jupiter Hills in like this AJGA, and it kind of was similar to what you guys are talking about. It's right across the street from where Tiger Woods lives. So a lot of PGA Tour guys are out there all the time practicing. The way they had it playing for us, when it's like when they get those greens firm and fast and you get all that wind and there's no rough, if you miss the fairway, it's just sand. So, and like the fairways really aren't that big.
Yeah.
But when you get wind down there with how firm those greens get, how fast they can get, and you put pins in stupid spots, then
it's not fun.
No, it's like it just mentally it puts you through the ringer.
Yeah.
Like I remember one of the days of the golf tournament, I was like 1 under through 12, and it was maybe one of the best rounds of golf of my life I had going. Like hitting every shot how I wanted to, and I was like, this just can't last.
Hold
man.
on. That's how I felt. I was like 1 under through 9 the last day at Calusa, and I was like, it's coming.
Well, there's always one.
But if it doesn't, I'm gonna wake up soon.
Yeah, because there's always one tee shot or a couple tee shots that are gonna make you feel uncomfortable, and when you're playing in a lot of wind, like if you get past the tee shot, then you got to get. I mean, I don't know. There's just always on courses like that. I just wish they'd play majors down there on some of those more exclusive golf courses.
And I wish they made the pins as tough as they make the pins in like college events too.
Yeah, and I think the U.S. Open they do that.
They start.
We talked to B Todd about that some last week too. Like what, like comparatively, like what would you say the main difference? As you get to the PGA Tour,
they start.
He was like, he was like
the mini tours, like they make it a birdie fest.
It's a birdie fest on the Korn Ferry Tour for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, most weeks of the year.
Hence why the scores are so low there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even a lot of the PGA Tour events don't play. Like you see how a lot of the PGA Tour events are set up. They're not set up to be super difficult either. Like the Honda, anything you see down in Florida is set up to be pretty hard.
Yeah, it's always a Florida swing.
It's always a Florida swing that's super hard on guys. But I don't know. I just think like the only week of the year that you really see pins just set out to like try to screw people over every single day if you don't have your A+ golf game is like the US Open. I prefer watching that over anything for that reason.
It's fun to see Rory rage.
Maybe we'll get a little.
How hard was the course when you played the US Open there?
Yeah, it was
that the hardest?
It's hard to like. Yeah. Calusa's up there though.
Yeah, situationally though.
Situationally, yes, because there's.
Yeah.
How much harder would Calusa have been if you had 2,000 people watching you in that circumstance?
Probably a little harder. Yeah. But as far as golf course goes, like, just like in like an 8-iron, it was so hard to like hit it like
solid.
Yeah, because it's so firm. It's like hitting off concrete, but it's tight as like.
And then you're landing on.
And then you're landing on concrete, like. When I had a 3-wood in my hand, I was like, "Don't top this." Like they're tighter than like most greens. Like if you go out there on the UGA greens, like that would be soft and like a lot of grass.
That's what freaks me out in mountain golf too.
But then you have to chip off that stuff.
Do you have
you don't like chipping off that stuff?
Oh, that's
an 8
first problem. Oh, talk about
8.
the bounce. If you
okay, this is gonna be maybe over some people's heads, but like the bounce on wedges, I don't really know how to explain it without having a wedge. But the more bounce you have on a wedge, I mean, it ranges. You can get a wedge with 0 degrees of bounce, where there's nothing but leading edge, and that's really great for firm conditions.
Yep, I needed that.
Or you can get really anything up to like 12.
Yeah. So basically,
12 is kind of where like your higher handicap player is going to sit with a 60-degree wedge.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit more forgiving, but your shot selection with that type of wedge is going to be very limited. And when it's firm, it's called the bounce. It bounces off the ground. It's
Knife.
brutal.
Yeah, but Brookline, I just had a hard time like blocking out everything. And I mean, that's not why I played bad the first round. It was, I mean, the golf course is hard, but like, I'm fucking shaking in my boots, man. Man, I think I was 7 over through 7, and I just was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make a par out here. Like, this is, made my first par on 8, and I was like, all right.
The way that I played at Athens Country Club today, if I went to the U.S. Open and hit driver like that, like I did today, I would have to hand out at least like $10, $100 bills to people that I hit in the head. Because I would snipe so many people.
Well, the farther off you hit it out there, like Travis Vick did it the last, and he hit in some hospitality tents, and he had some good looks and patted down mats and stuff. But you gotta have a go-to shot when you're under pressure, and I didn't really have that the first round. I was like
slice. I
was trying to like just aim down the middle and hit it down the middle, but just like draw it and cut it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's.
And I hit one of the most embarrassing shots in my life. Like, there's this big hospitality tent down the left, and then there's another hole on the right. So like, you're in a chute of like a lot of people. This is the biggest hospitality tent on the course, par 5 up the hill, and I'm laying up with a 3-wood.
I know exactly which one he's talking.
I'm laying up
with over the ditch.
Yes, it's a ditch, and I'm trying to hit this 3-wood off this downslope. And I'm telling you, it's tight. Like, I'm hitting off of this, and I hit at least 6 inches behind this golf ball, and this thing goes probably 80 yards, and everyone's like, when I get up to my ball, they're like, yeah, because I'm playing with no names, they're like, Caleb, yeah, man, yeah, whatever. Like, New England, get up there, hit it like 80 yards and into the thick stuff on the right, like rough, and I have like 230 into the hole, and I just came off a double. I'm 4 over through 4, and I'm like, Default watch. And I somehow hit this 4-iron out of the rough, and it's a blind shot, and I'm like, oh, that one actually felt good. Like, I found the club face there, and it went up to like 6 feet. It was my first birdie of the tournament, and then that really kind of just settled me down. But like, you got to have a go-to shot is my takeaway. Is like, if you're trying to shape it both ways, or like you don't have a shot you're hitting under the gun when you're under that pressure, kind of like we talked about at the good one, like you didn't have a thought with your driver. And it just goes to show you, like, you kind of need to have a thought in the back of your head.
Gotta have a little something you can lean on. Or like a thought process too.
If you're just trying to like hit it in the fairway, you gotta like see it. like
a fallback plan mentally for any sort of like fear or discomfort you have over a golf shot is super, super important. If you don't, realistically, that and kind of a feeling that you can go off of is a pretty good recipe. But I just feel like when you start, I mean, 99.999% of people are never going to play golf in the situation that you were put in. And that's
but the people get the same nerves when they're playing in front of like
without a doubt. But when you're thinking,
but no, there's levels.
There is levels. That's like
nothing compares to that.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't have people shouting at you. That are 10 deep.
I don't know how.
They're not playing the most difficult golf tournament course.
And it's hard enough. That's a hard golf course to focus on if you're just playing around with your buddies.
Yeah, and everyone like, craps on Rory and's like, can't play on Sunday or can't win a green jacket. Like, they have no idea. Like, to see Scotty, how chill he was on the back nine, like, unless you're in the situation, like we've all been in it, like when you're close to the lead, and even like people back home, or like if you don't play well in the final round, like they don't know what it's like to be in contention. Like they know what it's like to make a 10-footer to shoot 79. Like,
and they're the
first to criticize. Yeah. And you see all the people on Instagram like, oh, Rory, another, like, the weight on Rory's shoulder to show up at Augusta every year is...
It's brutal. It's totally unwanted, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally undeserved. I feel like if he had never even gotten close that one year, then we wouldn't talk about it.
He probably would have one by now if it wasn't going for the Grand Slam. Like, if he's like Brooks and he has like 3 of one major and 2 of the other major, like...
Yeah. Nobody ever talks about Brooks in that same light.
Yeah, they're not. They just think Brooks going to get a green jacket.
They're just like, oh, he's really good in the majors.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Rory McIlroy has been the best player in the majors for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the finishes he's had to not win a major.
But just people don't get like that.
Yeah, that's something.
Like we walked out. I was nervous on our first tee shot when we played Augusta for fun. No one was there. Yeah. Imagine walking out on the Sunday in one of the final groups.
And having all the people at jeopardy if you hit a bad shot. That's the worst. Jeopardy. Like every single shot, bro.
You're not even feeling the club hit the ball.
And I'm telling you, like, they have the ropes like set up like a yard right of where you're supposed to hit it. And then these guys are hitting drivers. Like Bryson DeChambeau was hitting a driver, and I was like,
starting it right.
And I was like, I should probably not stand here.
You really gotta like when you're out there, like not give a crap about what anyone thinks. That's how you get through it.
Yeah.
Because you're worried about self-embarrassment, and like if you start worrying about that, you have no chance. But if you're out there, like, you know, these people just want to watch me play and like just block them out, like,
yeah,
not trying to like prove to people. And that's what Scotty does. Like his identity thing, like that's why he's so good, is because like he kept
his head down the entire day.
He doesn't care what people think.
He didn't look at anybody. He just kind of went about his own business.
But if he hit a ball in the water on 12 or lost that tournament, like he still
blocked it
care.
out.
Still wouldn't care.
Yeah, doesn't matter. There's not many
That's
people.
That's why he's so good, I think.
There was one specific instance of that with him, where a couple years ago when he won the Players, I guess it was 2023. Mm-hmm. The week before that, he dumps it in the water on 18 at the Arnold Palmer,
and lost.
Almost every guy you see do that on tour you won't see him for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because mentally people just break down after doing stuff like that, losing a tournament on the last hole in the way that he did. He came back the next week and won.
Yeah.
Dominated.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's different.
He didn't mentally. Let it phase him. And that's kind of what I talked to you about. Like, you didn't finish the way you wanted to in California, and then you came out and came in second the next week. Like, you let that go.
Yeah.
You let it, I mean, you were frustrated for a night, and then you were already on the next.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when you know you're in a good...
Yeah, it takes a different type of mental makeup and a certain level of comfort with your golf game too. Because if you don't ever feel comfortable with your golf game and where it's at, presently, then you may not even believe that you can get back to that point. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when they get in those situations and they have maybe a difficult ending to a tournament, they have a hard time seeing all the good that happened, for one, and for two, they feel like it was like, maybe if they haven't been in contention in a while, like, oh, is that like the last time that I'm going to have a chance for a minute?
Yeah. The wild thoughts flow when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
The negative thoughts go out.
Yeah. Because you forget about, like, I know we don't play, we don't play 4 days. We only play 54 hole golf tournaments, but like, you forget, those tournaments where you play well, or where you're in a situation where you hold the lead the entire, like where you are around the lead the entire time and you hold it for a while. I think a lot of people forget, which you do this really well. A lot of people forget if it doesn't go the way as they planned at the end, a lot of people just forget about all the good that they did.
Yeah.
And that's what kills people.
But that's what you naturally want to do. You want to correct your mistakes, and that's what everyone does. Like, that's what the human nature is. But take the good out of it is where you can do what Scotty did.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just nuts. But I don't know. I just feel like you could correct me if I'm wrong on this. It's like being in a situation like you were at the US Open. You always think you want to play in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And then you maybe get there and you're like, oh crap, like, this is not what I thought it was at all.
Yeah,
and it also could have been different for you too, because you were in a region of the country where a lot of people actually knew who you were.
True. Yeah, I was in 2 hours from my house, but just Monday and Tuesday, like, I was almost like sick to my stomach. I'm like, there's so many people out here, man. I was worried about hitting bad shots in the practice round. And that's where you have to shift your focus to, all right, I don't care. I'm not impressing these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like squashing a bug.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, if I could put on headphones, I would. But I feel like that's inherently how you, like, kind of have to think about it. Like, if you're going to step on an ant, like, you're not really thinking about it too much. Maybe. No. I feel like you kind of, if you're going to play at that high of a level in front of those bigger crowds, you have to really not think too much about hitting somebody.
And people are yelling at you too. Like, people are chirping you. Well, they didn't chirp me. I didn't really hear anything like that. But like, I don't know. But people are going to say some not nice things.
Do you imagine what Brian Harman was going through at the British Open this year?
Oh, my gosh. Or Zach Johnson playing this week.
Yeah, like every week he plays.
Yeah.
Literally every week Zach Johnson plays.
Time on tour. Like,
until the next Ryder Cup, Zach Johnson's going to have a very difficult time playing in tournaments.
And they think he picked the wrong
a Ned team. You know,
you're bad captain. Now
yeah, like they're
suck
just
at golf.
Yeah. Well, and what's even worse about it now is that he's got poor press.
Yeah.
Because the waste management was so bad, like that he had, like I think people were saying stuff that was so bad that he had to like just tell him like, I think there was that group of people that people videoed him like, you know, yelling at. I think they had been following him the entire day.
Yeah.
That were yelling at him. Like
that was their job for the day.
I cannot speak highly enough of that guy. He is such a nice dude. So low key.
Yeah.
Like super nice guy. It's so unfortunate to see somebody. Also, Neil Shipley.
Champion.
Same type of thing. Champion. Like I know that guy kind of like his Sunday turned pretty like from playing with Tiger to like, hey, Tiger handed you a note, right? He's looking to the side. It's like
I didn't properly see that.
I didn't either.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I've seen his
Did
face.
he get a note?
He had.
And the reaction said
Is either a note or like
some
type of inside joke that
we'll
Tiger
see him
did.
at some point this spring, probably from here on out. We'll see Neil around. But I mean, I don't think
he'll get so many questions about that too, though.
Yeah, I don't think any of us really quite feel. Maybe other than
maybe I'll ask his teammate or something.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if any of us quite feel comfortable enough with Neil to ask him that question. But like that, I saw an edit that somebody put up. If anybody's seen Happy Gilmore, the part where Happy drops off his grandmother at the old person's home. And, you know, she wants to tell Happy how bad it is, but the guy's like over there in the window like... This reporter... Did you see that? This reporter asked him, so Tiger handed you a note on one of the holes, and Neil looks aside like...
And then it edits, and he goes...
No, yeah, then the guy's like...
He goes, no, nothing did happen.
No, did not happen.
That did not happen.
Over his
and that's when the interview ended, too, which made it worse.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I don't know, but you have to think about it. Like, in Butler Cabin, that's a difficult spot to sit in front of a camera.
Oh, yeah.
And you know you're talking to... at least 10 million people. Yeah. like everybody's checking in to see what this cat has to say, you know, because I mean he's a very recognizable figure.
Yeah.
I mean he's got that long, huge dude, long hair, the funniest Neil Shipley story I've ever heard, and like I almost don't even feel at liberty to tell this because I don't really know him, but like I remember playing we played it with Ohio State the last day of the national championship last year, and the cat that I played with, the head coach was walking with him, and Neil's big Catholic. He's from Pennsylvania, and he gave up ice cream for Lent. He picked up cookies instead. His coach was giving him so much crap for it. He's like, Neil, you gave up ice cream for Lent. You're picking up cookies instead. Like, what's the point of that?
I was impressed with him this week, though. Like, I think
that's unbelievable.
The
golf.
USAM definitely helped him, like playing in front of like.
Oh yeah,
the world.
And he looks like he loves
it. Once you're in that situation, you only learn from it. So like,
yeah. And I think the USAM too is a pretty friendly place to learn it, like to play in front of crowds too, because you get to play in front of a ton of people, and it's different because they're standing close to you.
Yeah,
they're standing behind you as opposed to the side, so it doesn't feel.
You're kind of out in front.
It doesn't feel. You don't feel. Yeah, it's cool, and you kind of walk with it. Feels the USAM feels a hell of a lot more casual than. I mean, I've never played in USAM, but I'd imagine that playing in the finals of a USAM would be a lot more casual feeling with the crowds than playing in a major championship or something like that. But I don't know. I guess Caleb's the only one that can say that.
For now.
For now. But yeah, we also have to mention that the dog of the week, Sepp Straka.
Yeah.
He's our low guy. What do you end up shooting?
12.
He missed top 12 by one shot.
Top 12 gets invited back, which I did not know.
Like
he
2 over.
One, yeah.
He shot 2 over. He was like 14.
God.
He bogeyed
15
and 17 or something.
Yeah, see that's weird. Like I didn't see a single one of his shots the entire week on television.
Me either.
Like you don't see
the Masters app.
I feel like they didn't. They covered a couple of people this week a lot.
But like Glover.
No idea.
No idea.
Dude's in 8th place,
picked him.
cruising. I had no clue until Sunday. And then I'm texting Caleb.
It's like you had to be in red figures for them to show you.
He was in red figures. That was the thing. Like he was, I mean, if you're 1 under through, I mean, 60 something holes of the golf tournament, like you'd figure, I mean, I guess when Scotty's that far ahead, then it's different, but you'd figure like also the coverage stinks too. Cause like it starts at 3.
Yeah, that should be starting at 6 a.m. bro.
That's Ned. That's why I like the British Open so much.
You wake up and go to bed too.
Cause like we can wake up at, like the British Open and the Ryder Cup are my 2 favorite things to watch. Because I feel like the British Open comes on over here in the morning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Like
and the Ryder Cup's sick to watch because when it was going on, we were in Fort Worth this year.
Yeah.
Me and Connor were staying in a room together, and we literally went to sleep watching it and woke up. Still on.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was great. But that was only because it was in Europe, so it's not always going to be like that. Yeah, Benzo's a damn Euro. Not really.
I'm international, so.
He's an international. GB&I, bruv. No, that's Great Britain Island. Sorry.
Yep.
I don't mean to misclassify you.
President's Cup, not Ryder Cup.
My favorite thing to do to Benzo is get people to go up and ask him if he's from England.
Oh, you both of you have done it a couple of times.
That's so much.
What happened last time? Someone did it to me, and I just
walked away.
I just guided it straight to the exit.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
There's the door. See ya.
Oh my gosh. There is the exit. No, I'm not from England. Absolutely not. That's too good.
Sound like I'm from England? No, man.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching this 12th episode of the DawgLeg Show. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials. We got them all up there on Instagram, YouTube. Is that X or TikTok? I guess Twitter. It's X and TikTok.
X,
yeah, it's Twitter. It's DAWG, DawgLeg Show. Make sure you guys keep tuning in. We will have some on-course content coming up for you guys in a couple weeks, and maybe we'll bring our South African friend back on for that.
Get some stripes, man.
Get some stripes, bruv. So you guys keep tuning in. If you've made it this far, thank you.